Well, looky here, folks. Look what Milwaukee has brought us. This is the new Milwaukee M18 fuel dual powered 18 volt blower. All right. Um, Item number 2824-20 Bear Tool. $249 for this. Okay. And if you've watched me, you know we've done a lot of deals on, for a long time, the best blower that I've used. I used this commercially for 4 years. All right, this exact one makes a weird noise now, but still works perfectly. Believe it or not. Real quick, we might as well go over the whole generations of the Milwaukee blowers. Okay, this is the Gen 1. This lasted around 9 months before a lot of people started complaining about it. Kind of big, kind of bulky. Didn't really have that much power. It was mainly because of the tube. Had a pretty wide opening at the end here. So it does allow for more CFM, but the miles per hour was a little disappointing. So, you know, it didn't have speeds on it as well, and it was pretty much discontinued after 6 months. This is the Gen 1 that I use. This every day. This is basically my deck blower. All right, you know, works fine. It really kind of does have the same power as the Gen 2 CFM wise, but not miles per hour. This is much improved, and this is lighter, better balanced, smaller. As you can see, a pretty big difference. And also you have 2 modes. You have a low and a high. Again, getting back to the main point of this, $249. I've done deals on this for 88 bucks. I want to say the lowest was 70 bucks for one of my hacks that we did on this. And again, if you're looking for, you know, again, for a long time, this was the best blower, in my opinion, on the market. It was recently passed up. A lot of you guys know about that, in my opinion anyway, what that blower is. But I'll be doing an update video on that soon. All right, so here's our Gen 3. All right, or we can call it a Gen 1 dual battery powered blower, but we'll call it the Gen 3. You know, I was kind of shocked when this came out. I do understand the reasoning kind of behind it, right? Because a lot of these, you know, Makita has one that runs on 2 batteries. You know, I would have liked them to improve on this one, right? But, you know, when you think about it, there's really not that much you can improve. I mean, it's a great blower. I mean, you know, Milwaukee does come out with needless tools a lot, you know, like updating tools. So, you know, if they could etch another maybe 25 CFM with this, right, maybe 5 to 10 more miles per hour. I mean, this thing, and if you can kind of keep the same weight and everything, because I can tell you, this with no battery on it, the Gen 2 versus the new Gen 3 with no battery on it, this is heavier already. So I can only imagine what it is going to feel like with 2 batteries on it. And again, they want you to kind of run the high output batteries. So again, heavier batteries. Again, it's optimized for that. You don't have to use the high output batteries, but you will get better performance. Now, again, this falls into a niche blower. In my opinion, there's really no need for it for the commercial person, right? Again, that's what made this blower so great. Now, for a homeowner, this one might, I guess, you know, if you're looking for a little bit more power for leaves and stuff. But again, to move a lot of leaves, you're going to be using a backpack blower, right? For normal lawn mowing from April to, you know, September, you're really just blowing out your garage, blowing grass clippings off the driveway, off the walkway, off the sidewalk. 450 CFM, really 400 CFM is really all you need for that. And to do it with ease with this Gen 2 blower, you know, again for 88 bucks. Now it's not that now, but you know, it falls into, you know, kind of too much for too little, right? I don't really need 600 CFM to blow grass clippings. And again, this is speaking from a commercial standpoint. And again, that's kind of what, you know, they gear, Milwaukee gears this too. Obviously the homeowner and the commercial, you know, landscaper, lawn maintenance professional. But, you know, again, you're not going to really blow leaves with this. You're not really, I mean, obviously if you're buying this, you're doing it for grass clippings and, you know, blowing off people's decks and, you know, making their walkway look nice. A little too much. That's why I'm not a big fan of the Ego blowers. Again, they're great blowers because they have a lot of power. You know, they're pretty light and balanced. But again, to have that big battery, all that extra weight, for grass clippings, I just don't see a need for it. And again, when it comes to real leaf removal, obviously for the commercial person, you're not using any type of handheld. You're going to use a backpack blower. But for the homeowner, that's where this kind of comes in my opinion. All right, so again, dual battery powered, right? This is really Milwaukee's first, you know, OPE tool that uses 2 batteries. A lot of people have kind of called for this for a while. You know, obviously the lawnmower takes 2 batteries, so that would technically be the first one, but obviously that's a lawnmower, you know. Talking about kind of like the handheld OPE tools, you know, this is kind of like the first one. But, you know, it's a little bit heavy. It has a real nice design. It's very similar to the Gen 2. It's just a little bit bigger. All right, same design, almost the same exact length. Okay, actually, with the batteries here, this one is a little bit longer, the new one. Obviously, you can see it's a little bit wider. And again, with no batteries in them, this is heavier. Okay, so you do got this nice handle here, which I really like. And obviously, you got a little hook here to hang this, whether in your trailer or in your garage. Okay, or the new, you know, Milwaukee pack out, you know, hanging racks and all that stuff that they have out now. But obviously, to take the tube off real quick, this, I mean, so easy. Obviously, you just snap the tube right in. To take the tube off, you push this back, pull this out. All right, this looks like your power throttle here. All right, so you can really control how much CFM and miles per hour you're putting out with this. Okay, so it's kind of like a variable, you know, power setting lever here. Okay, so obviously all the way up is going to give it its max power, that 145 mile per hour blow speed and 600 CFM. All right, obviously the lower you go, your CFM and miles per hour will drop, but your battery life will be better. So I like that you can kind of control it. So you can say, well, I don't have to use the 600 CFM and 450. But I understand that, but you're using something now. I got to put 2 batteries on this to work instead of 1. It's heavier. All right, so, you know, again, I don't see really any commercial, you know, professionals going out and buying this. There's really not a reason for it. You know, if you're a diehard Milwaukee fan, you might get it to, you know, try it out. You got this nice big battery gauge here to tell you the life on your batteries. All right, you know, again, if you've ever, well, if you're in Milwaukee's platform, you know, obviously the 6 amp hour high output battery. will give you kind of the most power out of any battery that they have. But you also know that they're kind of heavy, right? So imagine two of them on the back of this. And again, this is heavier than this one already. Now they say this weighs 6 pounds bare tool. Could be. I'll weigh it. We'll weigh it. We'll see what we can find out. You also get two accessories. All right, you get a tapered nozzle and a flat nozzle. Simple to put on. You got this right here. It just slides right into these grooves that are at the end of the tube. Okay. But besides that, folks, you know, that's really all the info. At 64 decibels. They let you know also on the blower itself. 145 miles per hour top blow speed. You're looking at 600 CFM. You know, listen, it's $249 bare bones. I don't think they have it as a kit yet. If it does, it's probably going to be around $349 to $399. If you're a Milwaukee fan, I think you're going to like this. All right, now we're going to test her out. We're going to do some leaves, and we're going to do some grass clippings, you know, on the driveway, walkway, and whatever. And we'll see how she does. But if you're Milwaukee fans, you got your first dual powered or your first dual battery powered fuel blower. All right, folks, so we're going to use 3 different sets of batteries here. And again, the biggest pain of this is that it uses 2 batteries. All right, so you got to make sure, you know, one's fully charged, one, you know, has more than 1 bar. One, you know, they're both of them are the same, or it's going to die earlier than you need it to. But anyway, we're going to use the 5, the most common battery that a lot of you guys have for some grass clippings. All right, we're going to use the the CP 3.0 high output battery on some leaves, and we're going to use the 12s. Okay, that'll give this the longest run time on some heavy leaves, some wet, old, matted down leaves. All right, we're also going to use these attachments. We're going to start with this one, and again, like I said, I really like how simple this is. Just hit these, push in, that's it, take off. So it's a very simple setup here, but compared to some of the other blowers out there, works well. All right, the 3 amp hour battery, definitely, believe it or not, these 2 batteries about weigh the same. This is a little bit heavier. All right, with these, it's you're gonna definitely need this bar, that's for sure. All right, but let's use the 5 and do some grass clippings with this attachment, and we'll use this on some clippings too. With the 3 high output and the 12 high output, we're not going to use this attachment or the other attachment. We'll just go bare naked. All right, folks, so I want to talk about the trigger lock on this blower. All right, obviously, like a lot of other blowers, the trigger lock can kind of be set in a lot of different positions to control the CFM and the miles per hour of the blower. With this blower, though, you know, the variable trigger, you don't really have as much control as other blowers. It kind of, you know, as soon as you kind of press it, it really wants to jump to full throttle. So obviously with the trigger lock here, you kind of have a little bit more control of the CFM, and obviously that'll help with runtime. Again, say you don't want to use all 600 CFM, you want to get, you know, you only have 2 3 amp hour batteries, right, the high outputs. You want to get at least 10 minutes out of it. You can kind of set it close to 450 with the trigger lock. I think you're going to be a lot more successful than trying to feather the trigger with this blower. Again, with other blowers, not that much big of a deal, but with this one, use the trigger lock. so it has plenty of power. I like this nozzle too, for clippings, because you get a little bit more miles per hour out of it. You might lose a little CFM, but definitely good for clippings. I got some more down here. All right, so you just saw the tapered nozzle used with some grass clippings. Works really well. Just showing you how to put on the flat nozzle. Again, you're not going to use this for grass clippings or leaves. It's not really made for that, really for the garage. But it's a nice attachment that they give it to you. All right, so now we're going to use the 3 amp hour batteries. All right, probably the best high output batteries you can kind of use with this if you're using it, you know, just for grass clippings, you know, 5-10 minutes of use. You know, 10 minutes might be close, but like I said, a really well built blower. And you know, it does have this handle here, so if you have 212s like you're gonna see, it really comes in handy. We're gonna push her all the way up to the top. We got some old leaves here, kind of damp. The ones in the bottom have been there a little bit. This is where the tree fell down, and there was some, you know, branches on this stuff. So let's put her all the way up, and here's your indicator saying we got 2 fully charged batteries. And this thing does have power. I will not, you know, say it doesn't, but again, pretty heavy blower. All right, so as you can see, one of the batteries, no, see, that battery's on. We got 2 batteries, which I don't know why that was going down, but now it looks like it got one of them back. So it was down to 2, but so this will read both your batteries. But again, guys, even, well, first, not gonna lie, guys, you know that, like I said, 600 CFMs, they're not lying. It's a pretty powerful blower. Definitely, probably the most powerful from a major tool company. You know, their 18-volt line, definitely. But again, even with these 3s, it's real heavy. You know, I had to actually switch to 2 hands at one point, but it's not bad with 2 3s. All right, and these really weigh the same as the 5 amp hour batteries. The 5s might be a tad more in weight. I mean, really a tad. So if you got 2 5s, you know, you're gonna eventually want to grab this at some point. But as you can see, it does have a lot of power. All right, so we've seen it with the 3 amp hour high output battery, all right, on some leaves. We've seen it with the 5 amp hour non-high output or common 5 amp hour battery with the tapered nozzle at the end for some grass clippings, and it definitely increases the miles per hour. I can see that useful in some situations, but most of you are going to use it without any, you know, attachment on it. But again, I do like the way it's set up. Like I said, you know, placing and removing the attachments with their little system here. Like I said, also comes with a flat nozzle. You know, I don't know who's going to have much use for that, but anyway, so now we got the 2 big boys on here, the 212s. And again, obviously this is going to give you the most runtime. You know, as far as questions are going to come as what the runtime is with this, you know, there's so many different Milwaukee batteries now that people have. You know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run on full throttle, okay? Obviously its highest CPM in miles per hour with 212s, and I'll give you the time on that, approximate. But it's going to obviously range in a with what battery you're using, right? Obviously, but right, you know, it ate up to 3s pretty quick. All right, you probably get, you know, again, you full throttle, I would say in the 5 to 7 minute range, closer to 7. You know, again, 7 tops 8. Okay, now that's a 3, so you're going up to a 12, right? You can almost 4 times that. You're looking at 30 minutes. All right, but obviously with, you know, different blowers with one battery, all right, you're kind of getting pretty similar performance runtime wise. And again, you just have to look at this, and again, well, to see how heavy it is. But you're going to be using 2 hands after a while with this setup if you're going to use it for, you know, an extended period of time. All right, now we're going to go after this here. Okay, so we got some old leaves here that I kind of kept here for a reason, for a different blower. But like I said, they're kind of matted down. They've been here since last fall. We're looking at early September right now in this area. All right, so we're going to blow all this out. Like I said, these have been here a long time. Remove this little quickie, and now we'll go at it. All right, let's see what we can do here. Now, I'm going to have to use this with one hand because I'm going to be filming here. So, I mean, it's heavy, all right? But, again, I don't think many of you are going to use 212s. You might. Now, one thing that the Makita blowers come with, they come with a little hook for a shoulder strap. And actually, some of the other Milwaukee OPE tools, like the pole saw, and you know that power head, I think has a shoulder strap attachment. I don't see anything on this to kind of put a shoulder strap on. Not saying that they might not come out with some. I'm not sure, but again, even with the 6s, you know, again, this is, they say 6 pounds without the batteries, right? A 6 amp hour battery is probably 2.5 pounds, we'll say. So you're looking at 11 pounds with 2 6s. All right, so I mean, some of these other blowers are around 9 pounds, so you're adding, it's like 2 pounds heavier. You know, a lot of the weight is here too. So, you know, keep that in mind, but it's not overly heavy. I don't want you to think, you know, that you can't use it. comfortably, but just compared to other blowers, it's really nowhere near the comfortability, in my opinion. But all right, let's see what we got. All right, again, very, very impressive performance. As far as the tool battery or tool powered battery platforms, right? No one's gonna come close to this. All right. Obviously, Makita has a old. I just want to let people know that this is kind of not the first dual powered blower. Makita has had one out probably for like 5 or 6 years, and that is definitely, you know, again, hard to compare because, right, their biggest battery is really the 5. Now they have 6s. The 6s are the same weight as the 5s with Makita, and actually they're the same weight as the 4s and the 3s. But obviously that blower is lighter only because of the batteries, and it might be a little bit lighter bare tool, but I think that packs 470 CFM. All right, maybe it's 480, I can't remember, but you know, 600 CFM is a lot. All right, you're probably never gonna get those numbers with just one 18-volt battery. All right, but my favorite blower, I think you get a little mix of both, and again, I will do a video on that shortly. All right, so let's finish this up. A lot of leaves here, and obviously this blower, you know, if you do have light leaves in your yard, light foliage, you know, obviously this will be better than other blowers. You'll get the job done quicker, but you know, for commercial people, you're not going to really use something like this. It just doesn't make sense, not only because of the price of it. You know, you don't really need all that power for grass clippings and stuff. But all right, let's see what we got. All right, we're getting back to the leaves. I got my cameraman back. All right, so we're gonna knock these out. All right, folks, there's a little light breeze too coming my way. It was actually coming towards me, but doesn't, you know, again, unmatched power-wise, folks. No doubt about it. All right, well made. Again, with this hook here, it's really very easy to use with two hands. All right, you know, the price is a little crazy, $250 right now, and that's bare tool. You know, I've done deals with the Gen 2 for 88 bucks, and you know, obviously this one has more power, but you know, with two batteries, you got to try to find two batteries, and you know, you got to make sure that two batteries are charged instead of one. You know, not without saying, listen, if you always wanted something like this, you're going to be very happy with this. All right, if you're a fan of some of Makita's blowers with the two batteries, you know, I don't think we're going to see, you know, trimmers like Makita has with the 36 or the 18 volt X2 platform, you know, trimmers and hedge trimmers and stuff. I think it's probably going to stay, obviously, just with this and the lawnmower, but who knows. But yeah, this is now pretty much, you know, battery, 18 volt tool battery, platform wise, the most powerful blower out. All right, we still got full 4 bars here. All right, so I'm gonna let this run, and I will tell you at the end what the runtime was. Okay, approximate with 212s, because again, I'm sure a lot of you are going to use it with two big boys on it, and it's not bad with this handle. All right, but if you're going to use this with one hand, your arm's going to get tired pretty quick, unless you're buff. If you're a beefcake, you'll have no problems. All right, and then, like I said, the variable trigger here, which controls the CFM. And again, you can kind of do the same thing with the trigger, but you got to make sure that this is off. All right, because once you use this trigger will not work at all. So if you put this halfway or a quarter of the way, all right, trigger can't really do anything. All right, so that's it, folks. I'll let you know the runtime, and I'll put it at the end of this video. Peace. All right, I want to show you something else pretty cool that you can do with this new Milwaukee dual powered blower. All right, when you got the 12s on it, it kind of keeps the weight. Oh, it's like a field artillery type of Gatling gun type thing here. All right, check this out. We got the Nerf, man. They're saying 1 second to max velocity. Let's see what we got. Whoa. And that ball is light. Let's try something a little bit heavier. Pretty cool. So if you get two of these, you can kind of have a little fight. You know, you can use actually something even heavier. Maybe like tennis balls. You and your buddy on the weekend, couple drinks. It's pretty fun. One thing I want to add here, it's a very loud blower. There obviously has, it's saying it's 63 decibels, 64 decibels. All right, obviously we know some other blowers are lower than that at 61, but compared to other blowers, this is definitely on the loud side, of blowers. Obviously for 600 CFM, 145 miles per hour, it's going to be louder, right? Just common sense. But again, something I do want to make you aware of with this blower, it is loud. I'll let you hear it. This is from 10 feet away. All right, pretty loud. All right, we're just at 20 minutes. We still got 2 bars. Now, I don't know if that second bar is going to drop, you know, in the next minute or two. But we're just over 20 minutes and still 2 bars showing. So pretty impressive. All right, so we just crossed 26 minutes. I knew it was going to kind of happen as soon as I ended the video. The second bar dropped probably within 30 seconds. So, like I said, guys, you know, if you're going to be in this, or if you're going to buy this blower, you're going to have more than 2 batteries. So runtime really isn't an issue too much anymore. You know, if you plan on doing your yard on a Sunday afternoon and you're going to use this blower, you're going to be ready to go. You're going to have 4, 6 batteries charged and ready to go. But, you know, again, obviously the Gen 2 version, right, the last version, my favorite blower for a long time. And it's still number 2. The Gen 2 Milwaukee blower, in my opinion. But again, 23 to 25 minutes, you're going to be probably, you know, 30 to 32 minutes probably with this one. You know, we're probably at around 28 minutes right now. Actually, it's starting to blink. So you're going to be probably right at 30 minutes. All right, so definitely going to get, you know, maybe an extra 20% runtime with this. But, you know, adding all of the, let's just call it extra baggage with this blower over the Gen 2, you know, it's heavier. You need 2 batteries. You know, not as comfortable to use. You know, the price, right? $249 bare tool versus, you know, I think the Gen 1 $199. Now obviously at regular MSRP it's not a big deal, but again, we've done a lot of hacks for 88 bucks, 77 bucks, and obviously at some point we'll see some hacks on this, I'm sure. But you know, like I said, if you've been waiting for a 2 batteried blower from Milwaukee, it shut off. All right, sorry, I had to check the actual official time. So it's around 28 minutes. All right, so, you know, hard to obviously gauge when there's 2 bars and you're kind of at 20 minutes because that second bar dropped as soon as I ended the video. And then we got, you know, 8 minutes or so on that last bar. So when it hits that last bar, you still got around 8 minutes. That's with a 12 too. So again, so you can kind of, you know, round that off, and it kind of makes sense to a degree. 12, obviously 28 minutes. So 6s would be half of that. So you're looking at around 14, 15 minutes. And like I said, with the 3s, around 7 minutes I was looking at. So, you know, 6 to 7 minutes. Probably with the 5s, you're looking at around, you know, 11 to 12 minutes, again, full blast. And, you know, you kind of put that up against the Gen 1, you know, with 1 battery, you're getting pretty similar runtime. But again, with 2 12s, you will get a little bit more with this. Again, I want to say with a 12 with the Gen 2, 23 to 25 minutes. Here you're looking, we'll say 28 to 30 minutes. You know, I got 28 minutes, but, you know, who knows, right? Yours might be a little bit more efficient. So that's it, folks. Again, if you've been waiting for a dual powered blower from Milwaukee, I think you're going to like this. Definitely it's got power. And if that's what you wanted from your next Milwaukee blower that was going to come out, weren't going to be able to do it with 1 battery and really significantly jump the CFM, right? Pretty much maxed out with that 450, 475, you know, CFM with a 1 battery, 18 volt battery, you know, platform. You have to go with 2. So obviously with 2. Now we got 36 volts to play with, and you can get 600 CFMs and a decently comfortable blower. So, like I said, my whole thing is, I don't know. I don't know why you would need that extra 150 CFM unless you want to blow your clippings into your neighbor's yard or across the street into your neighbor's yard. But, all right, folks. Very, very exciting blower, I'm sure, for a lot of you guys. The Milwaukee Gen 3 fuel dual powered leaf blower. Peace.